All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Samantha. Welcome to our 2026 State of the City Address. I would like to introduce our City Manager, Tina Kapoor.
Thank you, Samantha. And good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the 2026 State of the City Address. As City Manager of this beautiful city, I am pleased to welcome you to this annual event. I would like to begin with Juni Jian Nian Kwai Le. Happy Lunar New Year, and we're excited to welcome the Year of the Fire Horse. Tonight, the Mayor will provide an update on the progress we've made, the challenges we continue to face, and the priorities that will shape the coming year. Before we begin tonight's program, I would like to recognize a veteran and a well-known resident, Dennis Whitaker, to lead tonight's Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
Okay, anyone going once, going twice? I'll turn it back over to you, City Manager.
Thank you, Kirsten. We will continue to make slight adjustments in our program this evening just to keep you all on your toes. So first, we will begin with our public safety partners this evening. Please join me in welcoming Captain Neil Valenzuela.
Good evening, everyone. Before I get started, I want to acknowledge that Under Sheriff Mike Doty is here, and he'd like to come up and say a few things.
Thank you very much, Captain. Mayor, City Manager, and City Council members that may be with us, my colleagues, residents of Cupertino. I'm Mike Doty, the Under Sheriff of Santa Clara County. Sheriff Johnson, unfortunately, is at a state sheriff's conference and was unable to be with us tonight, but he sends his best regards to all of you. I just want to say just a few things before you see this presentation that the captain's going to provide. The relationship between the Sheriff's Office and the City of Cupertino is long-standing, and it's one that is built on a level of trust, collaboration, and truly a shared commitment to public safety. And I just want to reassure everybody that the pride that our deputies take every single day in serving this vibrant, innovative community is something that we don't take lightly, and we're very proud of the services that we provide and the collaboration that we have with the city. And moving forward, strengthening that relationship, continuing to work together through the challenges that we face in society today to ensure that this city remains safe and vibrant and thriving as it is today is truly our goal, and we're just so proud to be able to be your public safety provider. So with that, I'll pass it over to Captain Valenzuela to provide the statistics and update of this year in reflection. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I also would like to acknowledge that Assistant Sheriff Adam Oberdorfer and Lieutenant Sean Flores is also in the audience as well. Next slide, please. We're going to go over some crime statistics of how we ended in 2025. We'll talk about residential burglaries, vehicle burglaries. We'll briefly discuss the automated license plate readers, and then I'd like to end off with what we've been doing for community engagement throughout the year. Next slide, please. Next slide. This gives us an overview for the last 3 years of how Cupertino is doing. We did have an increase in residential burglaries, and we also had an increase in vehicle burglaries. Identity theft went down a little bit, but it's still a big problem in the city. So looking at these statistics, what we're looking at here is ways to approach it and try to bring these numbers down for the next upcoming year by ramping up our neighborhood watch meetings or our community engagement to try to teach and educate the public on how to avoid being the victims of a crime. Next slide, please. Here's the composition of the crime in Cupertino compared 2024 to 2025. As you can see, the biggest issues we have here is identity theft and vehicle burglaries. And these things are solved with some more community engagement, some more presentations so we can provide to the community so that we don't become victims of these crimes. Next slide, please. And next slide. This is a 10-year look at our residential burglaries. A couple of years ago, we hit a 10-year low, but we slowly started to see the increase in residential burglaries. We'll talk about some of the stats here in a little bit because it's important to note that some of these are occurring in an extended period of time, which means that people are away from their homes and probably not turning on their alarms or not getting a neighbor to watch their house if they can, or a relative. Next slide, please. Here's just an overlook of our biggest months. As you can see, January is our biggest months when it comes to residential burglaries, and December, essentially because people are going out of town on vacation and leaving their properties unattended. Next slide. This is a breakdown of the residential burglaries and how, when they occur, what days, and frequency. We use this data to try to target additional patrol staff, if possible, to be out on the street to respond to alarms. But as you can see, the biggest problem is we just don't know when they're occurring because people are out of town for extended periods of time, whether it's a day, a week, or months. And so we have, you can see 39 and 34, they're just unknown when they occurred. Which is our biggest makeup of all the residential burglaries. Next slide, please. And one more. Here we are with our vehicle burglaries. They've started to become a problem again. We need to get out there and do some more community engagement to educate people not to leave laptops, purses in their vehicles or in plain sight where somebody can just break their window and steal a purse. So we'll be doing that the next coming year, is doing more community involvement. Next slide, please. And again, here's just the makeup of where they're occurring. You're looking at shopping centers and mixed use. A small percentage is occurring in residential neighborhoods. And we have made some arrests as well too regarding vehicle burglaries in the last couple of months. Next slide. One more time. Oh, I'm sorry, leave it right there. As some of you may or may not know, the Board of Supervisors has directed the Sheriff's Office to stop utilizing Flock as a vendor or a contractor. It's important to note that the Sheriff's Office never shared with any federal agency, including ICE. And it was not something that we did wrong, essentially, as the Sheriff's Office. We maintained one of the most strictest policies on ALPRs. We believe that ALPR technology is a valuable tool which helps us solve crimes and keep our neighborhoods safe. We are evaluating other options to work with the cities for another solution for that, for ALPR. Next slide. One more, please. Lastly, I want to highlight our community engagement. Here in Cupertino, we strive to provide the best service to our residents and be out and approachable to all of our residents, whether it's coffee with the sheriff. We've provided a couple Stop Senior Scam presentations and also our Veterans Day ceremony. Next slide. Lastly, National Night Out is a big event for us here. If you have a neighborhood group that wants a deputy or a fire truck to come out, contact the city so that we can have somebody come out there and spend some time with your neighborhood watch group. And lastly, the school reading days, our SROs are fantastic. Spend some time with each school reading books and engaging with our youth. And that'll wrap up my presentation. I'll turn it back to the city manager. Thank you.
You're taller than me. Thank you, Captain. The city appreciates your partnership. I would now like to welcome our other public safety partner, Fire Chief Suwana Gertgau.
Well, good evening, everyone. Again, Mayor, thank you for the invitation for the council as well as for the community members here. My name is Suwana Gertgau. I am about to complete my 4th year as your fire chief. We've learned a lot through really recovering out of COVID, so I'm pleased to present some of the information and update for the department. Next slide, please. So again, we operate 19 stations. The area in red is all the areas that are responsible for the fire district, the majority of which are up here, 15 stations up in the northern part of the county. We currently serve a little over 250,000 of, or just around 250,000 of the population. And we, as a dependent special fire district, have about 80 civilian staff, and the rest are uniform staff. Again, we're a very complex organization, and we are really proud to be part of, again, the inherent district of Cupertino is part of our jurisdiction. Next slide, please. We took on some purchases, and again, apparatus keep going up and up in terms of the cost. We were able to get Rescue 73 put in place, that's in Saratoga, Water Tender 68, Engine 370, that's part of our wildland firefighting force. Some engines that are in production are Engine 67, Truck 74, which is in Los Altos Hills, and Engine 68, Water Tender 76, which will also be in Los Altos. And coming up in the next year, we're going to be procuring 7 new Type 1 fire engines. The biggest thing that we did as an organization that was a huge success that benefits all residents was the purchase of a 10-acre site down in the South County Fire District, Sycamore site. For those who have ever traveled down 101, there was a building there called Camping World. What we are going to use that 10-acre facility is for our fleet maintenance shop, because it has 6 apparatus bays. All that fleet that we have needs to be maintained, and it's maintained by the district. It isn't maintained by anybody else but the fire district and the employees of the district. It's going to also house a centralized warehouse, and we're going to, the training chief is sitting right here, and he's super excited about it. We're going to build a modern training facility on 5 acres of that property. Next slide, please. Some of the things that happen to residents also happen to our fire stations. What you're seeing up there is our Seven Springs Fire Station here in Cupertino. Due to the vast amount of rains that we all have been experiencing, our fire stations are also subject to the damage that is done from the water, the extraordinary amount of water that is raining upon us. So this is, again, for the city staff. We had this major damage done to the Seven Springs Fire Station. We took a look at it and immediately went to work to repair it. Again, we budget for these things to ensure that we have an emergency budget to help, and that at the end of it, you'll see to the right is really the apparatus bay and just all the repairs that we did in very short order to make sure that our crews were housed safely and able to respond out of the station. Next slide, please. Next slide. Thank you. So again, for those here, we've got 5 frontline engines that come out of Cupertino Station. They're all advanced life support, all with paramedics, each with a captain. We have the one of 2 hazmat, Type 1 hazmat teams in the county that come out of Cupertino. And then we also have our only tractor-drawn apparatus out of Cupertino. So again, we're very proud of how we protect Cupertino, as well as just the regional approach that we have throughout the jurisdictions served. And so from those 3 stations, we are able to deploy an effective response force immediately to the community here. Next slide, please. Our incident snapshot, you see that we went up just slightly from the year before for 2025. We're seeing a incident count increase in all of our jurisdictions served. It's just EMS calls, traffic accidents, folks that are injured contribute to the increase. And again, additional population means additional call volume. So again, 65% of the call volume is EMS, about 2% are fire, 2% of the call volume is fire. You'll see there that customer service is high up there, but that's usually calls that start out as an EMS. We get on scene, the paramedic, again, a paramedic is the highest level of medical care you can get before you see an ER nurse. They assess whether or not there are injuries, and if there are not any, but the person may just need some help, we help them and try to mitigate whatever situation is happening at that moment. Next slide, please. Again, for fire prevention activities, we have a very robust fire prevention division. Chief Estrada is here, Assistant Chief Estrada, who is the division head. Construction inspections was 135, annual inspections 533. These are very time-consuming inspections that we perform, plan reviews, 130. The fire marshal activity, these are in areas that are not necessarily in Cupertino, but again, construction plan reviews and operational related plan reviews are also part of our workload. Next slide, please. So some notable events here in Cupertino. Several structure fires occurred in November, consistent with seasonal patterns, again, driven by increased heating use. Again, when you turn on your heater, sometimes because the furnace has been off for a while, there's sometimes we have fires or just sparks that occur that are driven by just the non-usage of the heating system. So with that said, on November 11th, we had a structure fire in an apartment complex. Fire was contained to the unit of origin, no injuries. A couple of families, unfortunately, were displaced. November 28th, we had a structure fire in an apartment complex. Fire, again, was contained to the unit with the first alarm units. So those are those 5 frontline units that you have here in Cupertino with no injuries reported. And then again, on November 29th, another fire involving a single-family resident, and again, contained to the room of origin. That is our primary objective, to try to contain the fire to the object of origin, then the room of origin, then the floor of origin, and then last resort to the building of origin. So we were able to accomplish that on these events. Next slide, please. Community education, like the Sheriff's Office, again, community engagement and community education is very important to us. So we have our course schedule that you can see there on our website, some CERT Academy start dates that we have, one in Campbell on February 24th, another one in Saratoga planned for August 4th. Again, this is one that the West Valley City community members can attend. We do have the Cupertino Wildfire Workshop coming up July 15th, and again, we schedule these well in advance, and we really try to message that on our social media to get out to the residents here so that they're aware. If you have a request for a service or a program, again, this is where sometimes we'll come out to a school, we'll come out to an event. You can do that on our website. Next slide, please. Wildland fire risk. And again, this is a big topic, especially in our hillside communities. Again, the hazard severity maps, which are pushed out by the state and adopted by the community, the community of the authority having jurisdiction, these are the things that directly work with our fire prevention division. And this is one where mitigation and what we can do to help educate the community members is really the first and frontmost thing that we want to do for the community. Next. Again, we all talk about how there has been a change in climate. What you see on the left, sorry for the 2007 down there, just didn't show up the way we had thought, but this is 2007. That was what the fire hazard severity looked like back then. 20 years later, look what it looks like last year. So definitely we're seeing the state push out a map in which they're seeing increased fire risk on the west side of Cupertino. Next slide, please. So what do we do to help the community with the wildfire risk? These are the Wildland Urban Interface letters that come again out from the Fire Prevention Division. We have just around 1,200 informational defensible space letters that go out, inclusive of 707 enforceable defensible space letters. You've got parcels that are included in designated moderate high or very high severity zones. Again, this is one where for us, we do our best to educate the community and what they can do to help us help them. Next slide, please. So again, we work very closely with the Sheriff's Office. It's a very proud partner of ours in multiple West Valley cities and areas. And during a fire or an emergency, we work very closely with the Sheriff's Office if protective action like evacuation is needed. And again, this is one in which our partnership is very strong and we're very proud to have. Next slide, please. So just more for education for the general public here. Again, we have Alert SCC that we encourage you to sign up for. This is where the county will alert you for regarding anything that may be affecting a community. And then Genesis Protect, which is our protective action platform that we utilize, and it doesn't have to be for a fire. It could be for a hazmat incident or, hey, a shelter in place, there's something going on, we just want you to stay put. These are the protective action platforms, so if you can go to it on your free time, on your browser, look at it, you can put in your address and you'll be identified what zone you're in. I think we're almost done. Last slide. And I think we have a video. So again, one of the things that we wanted to do was really show hometown pride for all of the cities that we serve. We put together 2-minute videos in each of the jurisdictions that we serve for the stations that are in their cities. This one is for Cupertino. And then I'll go ahead and thank you.
Hello, welcome to Cupertino Fire Station. My name is Lane Cooley, captain with Santa Clara County Fire Department. Out of this station, we have 7 firefighters, 3 on our engine, and 4 on our truck. We have engine 71. We also have our tiller-drawn aerial, truck 71. It's a 100-foot aerial. We also have a Type 3 that is utilized for wildland incidents. It is currently out on a wildland incident in Southern California. We are actually one of our busier stations. We run approximately 2,500 calls a year, and we cover Apple headquarters, De Anza College, Interstate 85, Interstate 280, its interchange, and the community in between. We oftentimes start our tour off with training, get everybody in the right mindset so that we can approach the day and the tour ready to go. We're going to take our tiller-drawn aerial, our truck 71, we're going to go out and we're going to size up many of the multi-story buildings that we have in anticipation for its main purpose. How about you come along with us and we'll go out and train. So in this drill, we had our engine pull up, pull a line to the front door, and then simulate a coordinated attack with our ventilation group, which was in truck 71. They laddered the building, identified construction features, and simulated an area where they would ventilate this structure. We often come to various buildings in Cupertino. We assess the roofs. We assess our ability to get to those roofs with our truck. We have a wide variety of buildings in Cupertino, and we try to identify those construction features that would allow us to do our job better.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Captain. Please join me in giving another warm round of applause to our public safety partners who serve to protect our community. And now, And now, it is my great honor to introduce a leader who cares deeply about this community and the people who call it home. She has led with thoughtfulness, integrity, and a clear commitment to transparency and good governance. Please join me in welcoming the Mayor of City of Cupertino, Mayor Kitty Moore.
Good evening, Cupertino. Thank you for joining us tonight for the 2026 State of the City Address. I'd like to begin by thanking Dennis Whitaker for leading the Pledge of Allegiance, Cupertino High School Chamber Orchestra for their musical performance, and Husako Hoirep of Weifu Ikebana for the beautiful floral arrangements which adorn our venue this evening. I'm honored to serve alongside a dedicated and passionate City Council. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to recognize my colleagues on City Council who work tirelessly on behalf of our community. Vice Mayor Liang Chow, Councilmember Sheila Mohan, Councilmember J.R. Fruin, and Councilmember R. Ray Wong. Next, I'd like to acknowledge and introduce the dedicated individuals who serve across various cities and boards in Santa Clara County. Please hold your applause until all the names have been read. Joining us tonight are City of Campbell, Councilmember Terry Hines, City of Campbell, Councilmember Sergio Lopez, Town of Los Altos Hills, Vice Mayor George Tyson, City of Milpitas, Mayor Carmen Montano, City of Milpitas, Councilmember William Lamb, City of Saratoga, Councilmember Yan Zhao, Fremont Union High School District Board Trustee Rosa Kim, Fremont Union High School District Board President Stanley Coe, Fremont Union High School District Board Trustee Patrick Carpio Aguilar, Rancho Rinconada Recreation and Park District Board Member Brandon Kwan, Rancho Rinconada Recreation and Park District Board Member Minna Chu, District Director Tom Pike from the Office of Congressman Ro Khanna, District Director Victoria Lowe from the Office of Assembly Member Patrick Ahrens, District Representative Alex Kobayashi from the Office of Senator Josh Becker, Board Aide John Ishii from Supervisor Margaret Abikoga's office, and with us also we have former mayors Patrick Kwok, Orrin Mahoney, Stephen Scharf, and Darcy Paul. It's time to applaud. Oh, I'm Linda Sell. Pardon? Swan, thank you. And from Los Altos Hills, Linda Swan. And if I'm missing anyone else, please let me know so they may be recognized. Okay, hearing none, I will move on. Let's give them all, again, a warm round of applause for their commitment to our community. Tonight, we're also pleased to accept congratulatory certificates and resolutions recognizing tonight's event. These certificates symbolize the long friendships and cooperative relationships we've built with our state and local partners. Representatives from the offices of Assembly Member Ahrens, Senator Becker, and Supervisor Abikoga, if you would please join me in the front to present the certificates. We'll be having some brief remarks from Victoria Lowe and Alex Kobayashi and John Ishii.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Victoria Lowe, representing Assembly Member Patrick Ahrens. We're pleased to be here today to support our mayor of Cupertino, Kitty Moore, for the state of the city.
Hi, Alex Kobayashi. Just want to say, getting these reports on the great work that's been done and going to happen in the coming year is really important for us in Sacramento to represent all of you. So thank you so much for this. Looking forward to hearing all you have to say. And then we have this for you.
Hi everyone, my name is John Ishii, representing Supervisor Abe Koga. We're really excited to be here today and celebrate in community with you all, so thank you all and happy to be here.
On behalf of the City Council, city staff, and every resident of Cupertino, thank you for these honors and for your continued partnership. Now it is my humble privilege to stand before you as your mayor. I've had a long road to this place, somewhat like being in a rock tumbler. And in many ways, so has our beloved city. In Cupertino, we are a general law city with a council-manager form of government. Your elected council sets policy based on the will and priorities of our residents, and our professional staff, led by our city manager, Tina Kapoor, implements these policies with skill and dedication. Tonight, our theme is good governance. Good governance is not a slogan. It's the daily work of listening, deciding, and following through. It means being transparent with you, making tough choices when necessary, and remembering that every line in a report ultimately touches someone's life. This evening, I will speak about our finances and public safety, housing and land use, transportation and climate, parks and facilities, economic development, technology, internal reform, and most importantly, the great people we have who serve the city. And if at times it feels like a detailed agenda report, that is simply Cupertino staying true to itself. When out in the greater Bay Area, I often find myself asked, how do you tell if someone is from Cupertino? The answer is simple. They read the entire staff report and the attachments, and then they send us comments on the footnotes. That level of engagement is exactly why this city works. Good governance is the way we turn shared values into tangible outcomes. For Cupertino, that means making decisions in public with data, options, and trade-offs clearly explained. Living within our means while still investing in the future. Complying with state and federal law, even when it's uncomfortable, and advocating for better laws when needed. Treating residents, businesses, staff, and regional partners as true partners, not afterthoughts. Providing clear routes for communication, for community engagement. Over the last 2 years, we've been tested on all of these fronts. Major tax revenue changes, increasing public safety costs, state housing mandates, the need for infrastructure and facility upgrades, and rising community expectations have all created tension between what we want to do and what we can afford to do. Good governance doesn't make those tensions disappear, but it does require that we face them honestly, explain them clearly, and work through them together. Our finances quietly shape everything else we do. Cupertino has weathered a period of significant fiscal stress. Changes to how sales tax is allocated, notably those affecting large point-of-sale collections, reduced our revenues dramatically. We had to reduce costs, reconsider service levels, and rely on reserves carefully, not casually. Now, rather than relying on luck or one-time fixes, we've put clear policies in place. We adopted a cash flow management policy so that we are not leaving millions of dollars sitting idle. Our goal is to manage cash prudently and strategically, preserving safety and liquidity while earning a responsible return. We strengthened our budgeting and monitoring processes so mid-year surprises are minimized and we can adjust early when trends change. We are initiating a prioritization matrix for capital improvement projects so that projects move based on transparent criteria, safety, asset condition, grant timing, and legal mandates, while also ensuring our aging structures have sound maintenance scheduling in a practical, back-to-basics manner. These may sound technical, but they're how we translate living within our means into actual practice. They ensure that when we say something is a priority, it's backed by realistic interest, funding, and timing. Public safety is one of our most fundamental responsibilities. Cupertino contracts with the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office for law enforcement services, and this partnership has delivered professional, reliable public safety for many years. Recently, however, the cost of that contract has risen sharply, with proposed increases significantly above what our long-range forecasts anticipated. Good governance requires us to do two things at once: affirm that public safety is essential, protect the city's long-term fiscal health. To that, we're working closely with our neighboring contract cities in the county to understand the cost drivers and to seek fair, sustainable terms. Examining service models and phasing options so that we can maintain safety without destabilizing our budget. Being candid with the community about the trade-offs involved. We cannot pretend that such a large increase has no impact on other services or on potential future tax discussions. Public safety also shows up in our ordinances and day-to-day enforcement. We're enforcing our RV ordinance to address long-standing concerns about oversized vehicles, while at the same time, we strive to treat everyone impacted with dignity, connecting people with resources where possible. And safety is not just within our city limits. We're in communication with the county about pre-dawn truck traffic and noise associated with the Lehigh site, advocating for meaningful reductions in early morning disturbances that affect Cupertino neighborhoods. Public safety is about patrol cars and response times, but it's also about contracts, ordinances, and regional advocacy that keep our residents safe and our neighborhoods livable. Housing is one of the most complex and important areas of city policy today. Over the last year, we have approved multiple housing projects, including new homes at the former Staples site, the United Furniture site, and Dividend Homes projects along Stevens Creek Boulevard. These approvals help us meet our regional housing needs allocation requirements. More importantly, these projects reflect our values. We appear to be moving forward on moderate income teacher and workforce housing on Wolf Road, ensuring our educators can live in the community they serve. We also appear to be providing critical inclusive housing for members of our IDD community, neighbors with intellectual and developmental disabilities, so they have stable homes rather than facing displacement. At the same time, we must be transparent about our legal obligations. Under the state's no net loss law, if a project comes in with fewer affordable units than originally assumed, we must identify and restore that capacity elsewhere. However, we must be honest about the challenges the unregulated use of housing laws have caused. For years, our general plan was our community blueprint for orderly growth, shaped by thousands of hours of resident input. Today, that local vision has been largely supplanted by a rain of ever-changing state laws. These mandates have stripped cities of their ability to manage growth, leading to the loss in Cupertino of over 1.3 million square feet of retail and the vital sales tax our general fund relies on. In this new reality, we rely more than ever on developers who share our commitment to Cupertino's future. Just as Apple's headquarters set the gold standard for designing within a suburban landscape, we ask our residential developers to share that elevated design spirit and consider neighborhood compatibility. Ultimately, good governance means refusing to be a passive bystander as state laws change our city. It is our duty to fight for every inch of local control we have left to ensure Cupertino's future is shaped by its residents and not by Sacramento. Good governance shows up in our daily surroundings, our parks, civic buildings, shared spaces, recreation programs, and the tangible assets we maintain. These are where community happens, and in the past year, we've made meaningful progress in ensuring they're safe, inclusive, and resilient. We began this fiscal year by opening the Jolly Man Park all-inclusive playground. This isn't just a place to play, it's a thoughtfully designed space where individuals of all abilities can play together. It represents our commitment to inclusion, moving it from a policy document into the very fabric of our neighborhoods. We're also looking towards the future of our open spaces. The Lawrence Mitty Park property is currently moving through essential environmental cleanup with regulatory oversight from the county. While this work takes time, it's a critical step in our stewardship. We're doing the hard work now to ensure that when we finally build this park, we are creating a safe, healthy space for generations to enjoy. Beyond our parks, we're investing in the infrastructure that keeps our city running during a crisis. We have finally made significant progress on the City Hall seismic retrofit and remodel. For many years, this project was delayed, but we are moving forward now so that your city government operates from a building that is safe and resilient. Similarly, the Torrey Annex Emergency Operations Center, EOC, is progressing, which will provide a robust hub for coordinating our response to earthquakes, wildfires, and storms. Cupertino Parks and Recreation Department continues to bring the community together through more than 60 annual events, including the tree lighting, Big Bunny, 5K, Independence Day celebration, summer concert series, movies in the park, and Cupertino Campout, drawing nearly 30,000 attendees this year alone. Beyond special events, the department offered more than 3,500 programs, serving 154,000 participants, logged 30,000 hours of facility rentals, and supported nearly 3,000 sports center members and over 1,800 senior center members. With the help of more than 175 senior center volunteers and 90 teen volunteers, these efforts reflect a strong commitment to connection and community in Cupertino. I want to pause here to offer my deepest praise to our Parks and Recreation team, Community Development, Public Works, Planning, Finance, City Manager's Office, IT, and admin staff, and our attorneys. You're the unsung heroes, keeping our city vibrant and resilient. Your dedication turns policy into playgrounds, permits into progress, and maintenance into pride of place. These efforts rest on our tangible facilities and fleet that keep the city running daily, powered by exceptional teamwork across departments. The Community Development Department processed and supported over 3,300 permits, reflecting its ongoing commitment to equitable housing, resilient infrastructure, vibrant public spaces, and sustainable land use. Shall we? The city manager's office led the way for the city's 70th anniversary celebration this past year, expanded the block leader program, oversaw the city work program, and spearheaded the city's approach to bringing economic development to the front and center. The IT department led the overhaul of the city's website, bringing a new look and more accessible content, and upgraded the control room at Community Hall. Let's give them a round. And Public Works manages a total fleet of 108 vehicles, maintains over 19,000 street trees, and oversees our 138-mile street network with a pavement condition index of 82, ranking 4th highest in the Bay Area. They're also advancing 29 capital improvement program projects to further enhance our infrastructure, including moving forward with long-needed public input and determination for our public properties, such as the Stockelmeyer and Bletch houses, both of which are in the floodplain. These investments are more than brick and mortar. They're about preparedness and accessibility. Whether you're attending a community event or relying on us during an emergency, good governance ensures that our facilities are ready to serve you. Transportation is where our values, our climate goals, and our daily lives intersect. We continue to build a safer, more connected, and more multimodal Cupertino. We have protected bike lanes along Stevens Creek Boulevard, which are under construction, bringing greater safety to one of our busiest and most important corridors. This will make biking a more realistic option for students, commuters, and families. We continue to work on school area safety, intersection improvements, and corridor studies using collision data and resident input to prioritize where our limited capital dollars can have the greatest impact, including consideration of regulations on e-bikes and e-scooters to protect public safety. At the same time, regional issues like the Lehigh Site's truck traffic and freeway congestion affect our quality of life. We advocate with the county and regional agencies because we understand that many off-city decisions still have on-city impacts for Cupertino residents. Good governance in transportation means being ambitious. Staff pursuing grant funding, like the $8 million grant, which is allowed for the popular SV Hopper shuttle to expand into Santa Clara, and designing high-quality projects while also being realistic about budgets, construction impacts, and the sequencing of work. It also means communicating clearly about what is coming, so you're not surprised by construction zones or project timelines. Cupertino has a strong identity as a climate-conscious city. Our Climate Action Plan 2.0 sets ambitious targets and a detailed roadmap. In practice, this has meant encouraging electrification in buildings and streamlining permits for electrical vehicle charging, working with our waste hauler and the community to comply with state organics, recycling, and waste reduction mandates, enhancing stormwater management to keep pollutants out of our creeks and the bay, gradually shifting our fleet and equipment towards zero-emission options, installing solar panels and converting to low visual impact LEDs. And we've launched VR Decarb, a grant-funded virtual reality experience letting residents tour a zero-emissions home at festivals and block parties to spark greener choices. We have also received strong external ratings and awards for some of our climate-related projects, validating that Cupertino is not only planning for sustainability, but making measurable progress. Good governance and sustainability means integrating climate considerations into everyday decisions, facilities, fleets, procurement, land use, rather than treating climate as a separate, optional topic. It also means pacing our efforts so that they're financially sustainable and technically feasible. Cupertino is home to approximately 4,000 businesses, from global headquarters to small family-run shops. Economic development and business compliance are core parts of good governance. We reestablished the Economic Development Committee to give focused, sustained attention to business retention and attraction, vacant storefronts, neighborhood-serving commercial areas, and partnerships with the Chamber and other organizations. Our goal is to support businesses in meaningful and tangible ways, not just with words, but with policies and programs. We're bringing more of our 4,000 businesses into business license compliance. This is about fairness and stability. When more businesses comply with business license requirements, we can maintain reasonable rates and ensure that the cost of city services is shared appropriately. We're actively offering promotional support to our small business community, especially for the recent big football game and for the upcoming international soccer tournament with our new webpage, Explore Cupertino. The city's also launched the Business Resource Hub, a free platform packed with resources, training, and networking to help our 4,000 businesses thrive. We are aligning economic development with our housing and transportation work so that new residents help support local shops and so that employees can get to work safely and efficiently. A resilient economy is one that's diversified, locally grounded, and well supported by city policies. Good governance means we do not take our business community for granted, but actively work to keep Cupertino an attractive and predictable place to operate. Zooming out, Cupertino has long been a vital engine of the South Bay's prosperity, a compact powerhouse that generates an astonishing over $1.3 billion in local retail spending and over $400 million in property tax levies. Our streets and infrastructure support a global economic hub that enriches our entire region and the state of California. However, we must be honest about the fiscal reality behind those numbers. While our community generates over $400 million in property taxes, only $35 million returns to our city for local services. That's one of the lowest percentages in the county. And out of more than over $1.3 billion in local retail spending, just $11 million reaches our general fund. Effectively, for every property tax dollar generated within our borders, Cupertino receives back just 7 cents. There's an old economic adage about the golden goose, that we must protect the source of the wealth if we wish to see prosperity continue. Like many of our neighboring cities who also shoulder the responsibility of driving this region's success, Cupertino provides the platform, the safety, and the infrastructure that makes this wealth possible. But you cannot continue to squeeze the goose and expect the engine to keep running. We're advocating for a fair return on the value we create. Cupertino has been admirably generous through the years, but we are in a different situation today. To lead with integrity, we must ensure Cupertino is treated as a partner in the region's success, not just a donor, so that we can continue to provide the world-class safety, parks, and services that define our great city. Increasingly, the most important decisions affecting cities are made at the state and federal levels. Housing, revenue, public safety, especially with over 1,000 acres of Cupertino added into the very high fire severity zone, climate and technology mandates all arrive from outside of City Hall. We cannot afford to be passive, and that's why we've brought back the Legislative Review Committee. This committee allows us to track new bills and regulations that could significantly affect Cupertino's authority, finances, and obligations, take formal positions, support, oppose, or seek amendments so that our voice is heard in Sacramento and beyond. Coordinate with other cities and regional organizations when we share common concerns or goals. Good governance means recognizing that local control must be actively defended and thoughtfully exercised. We do not simply react to laws after they pass. We engage in the conversation while there's still time to shape outcomes. Behind every permit, service request, bill, and program is a system. When those systems are fragmented or outdated, residents feel it, businesses feel it, and staff feels it. We're taking significant steps to modernize. This year, staff across all departments will be moving forward, hopefully, to implement a new enterprise resource planning system to align our departments and streamline internal operations. This ERP replacement modernizes our outdated financial and payroll systems, improving automation and integration while cutting inefficiencies and risks. A phased rollout resuming with your council's approval. This will improve budgeting, procurement, HR, payroll, and other core functions, reducing manual work, errors, and delays. We're excited to further bridge our financial data. While our current systems already share information with OpenGov, this new platform will allow for a more seamless, automated connection, significantly improving data accuracy and real-time reporting. The city has expanded our website offerings and reorganized content to provide clearer, more accessible information. Our goal is to make it easier to find what you need without scrolling through long lists of links or buried documents. We continue to improve customer-facing tools, including online forms, service request portals, and e-notification systems, so you can interact with the city on your schedule. To speed up permitting, the city is looking into AI applications, which can read electronic plan sets and determine code compliance. We're steadily modernizing our tools to meet these high standards of transparency. This year, we transitioned to a new OpenGov budget format. While we continue to provide the familiar and accessible PDF version for public review, the digital data behind it is more robust than ever. Modern systems are not just a convenience, they're a foundation for transparency and good decision-making. When our data is accurate and our processes are aligned, we can respond faster, plan better, and explain our choices more clearly. Since 2019, at Council's request, Cupertino has been engaged in a rigorous internal controls audit and policy inventory program. This vitally important initiative, originally launched with Moss Adams and now continuing under the expanded expertise of Baker Tilly, is more than just a financial checkup. It is a total quality management journey. This process is deeply collaborative, relying on outside professionals who work hand in hand with our staff to refine our city's unique processes. By pairing their expertise with our fraud, waste, and abuse hotline, we have created a positive, proactive loop where we identify gaps as opportunities for excellence, ensuring our city staff has the best possible roadmap for success. To support these technological leaps, we've strategically added key staff based on our auditor's recommendations, specifically in budgeting and financial analysis to ensure long-term fiscal health, and in procurement to modernize how the city vets and manages every tax dollar. This is the essence of good governance, having the courage to look closely at our operations and the discipline to make them even better. As the management expert Peter Drucker famously noted, quality is not what the supplier puts in. It's what the customer gets out and is willing to pay for. In our case, the customers are our residents. By removing friction from our systems and replacing it with better tools, we're building a culture where our staff can work with pride and our community can live with the absolute confidence in our government. For many years, local governments everywhere, including ours, have sometimes been pulled along by the issue of the week. We're now committing to a more disciplined, forward-looking approach. We will be creating a strategic plan for the city of Cupertino with clear long-term goals and priorities. This plan will guide our budgets, our city work program, and our staffing decisions. It will be built with robust community input because our goals must reflect our values. We are enriching the capital improvement project prioritization matrix to ensure that the way projects move up or down the list is based on transparent, agreed-upon criteria, including safety, asset condition, sustainability, strategic alignment, financial effectiveness, and legal mandates. That means fewer surprises and more predictability for residents, businesses, and staff. These tools, our strategic plan, our financial policies, our CIP matrix, and our performance measures will work together. They're the infrastructure of good governance. It's now easier than ever to stay informed and involved. You've hopefully noticed that hybrid meetings are back, so you can watch City Council, committee, and commission meetings live on Zoom or attend in person. Whatever works best for you. Residents can also sign up at cupertino.gov/notify to receive news and updates delivered straight to your inbox. For an even deeper look at what's going on each week, residents can visit the city manager's page and read the city manager's weekly letter to the council. The city manager also publishes a bi-monthly e-newsletter with each agenda filled with updates, opportunities for involvement, and important special events happening in the city. In addition, the city operates the 311 app for non-emergency items to be handled directly with staff rather than using the more lengthy process of emailing the city. Please try it out. The monthly mayor's chats have returned. They've returned this year, and we'll hold them all on city properties, which is a great reminder of all the wonderful civic spaces we have. And at these chats, you'll receive a mayor's report, have a responsive Q&A time with live staff responses, which is a new feature, and a new announcement section. The mayor's initiative this year is about physical and fiscal fitness. We will have a monthly Get Moving More event. I know. Please start by joining me in the Big Bunny 5K on March 7th. Wonder Woman will be back for our extra special July 4th America 250 parade celebration, and we're working to schedule litter cleanups and tree planting, a special art project, and to reinforce my commitment to having budget and fiscal literacy for our complex municipal finance, we'll have a fun, creative, educational event on the budget that gives you tools to navigate complex items with ease. There's only 3 sections to go, so hang in there. Before turning to our dedicated staff, I want to first honor the heart of our city, our volunteers, and community partners. To our commissioners on planning, parks, housing, finance, and more, thank you for your expertise, reports, and dedication to our toughest challenges. To CERT, medical, and CARES volunteers, thank you for training and standing ready to help neighbors. The Vice Mayor, City Manager, Commissioners, and I have joined CERT, and we urge everyone to get involved. The Youth Activity Board members and youth volunteers, thank you for your energy and early commitment, proving local government is for all. To our nonprofits, from social services and food support to arts, environment, and culture, thank you for enriching our lives and aiding the vulnerable. To sister and friendship cities, thank you for global connections through exchanges and projects. To the Silicon Valley Chinese School for staff training in Mandarin, a widely spoken language in our city, 谢谢 and 新年快乐. Finally, to everyone here or watching this recording, thank you. Your presence shows that you care. Good governance thrives on it. I want to close by talking about the people who make all of this possible at the city. First, to my city council colleagues, thank you for listening to residents, debating openly, and tackling tough issues with civil, thoughtful resolve. We are equals, striving for Cupertino's long-term good. Most of all, our deepest thanks go to our incredible city staff. In our council manager system, you turn policies into reality, from playgrounds and housing to transportation, climate action, and tech upgrades, with unmatched dedication and creativity. Special heartfelt gratitude to City Manager Tina Kapoor, who has brought energy, vision, and steady leadership amid change, aligning departments and sharpening our focus on results. To every department head, administrator, accountant, analyst, engineer, clerk, attorney, field crew, support staff, and members of our public safety partners, you answer calls, fix streets, maintain public spaces, protect us, and keep us running daily. From all of us, truly, thank you. I would also like to acknowledge the recent passing of longtime Cupertino resident Boris Stanley. He was 99. Without Boris's decisive action, it's possible that the city of Cupertino wouldn't exist as it does today. As a local attorney, he played a pivotal role by preparing and filing the incorporation papers that formally established the city. We recognize and honor his lasting contribution to our community. The state of our city is resilient, disciplined, and forward-looking. We are not without challenges. We face rising public safety costs, state mandates, infrastructure needs, and the permanent work of balancing wants and resources. But we also have remarkable strengths, a highly engaged community, a skilled and dedicated staff, strong regional partnerships, and a clear commitment to good governance. Good governance does not mean we will never make mistakes. It means that when we do, we will acknowledge them, correct course, and learn, continually improving. It means that we make our reasoning visible, invite your input, and hold ourselves accountable. At the start tonight, I spoke about a rock tumbler. The past few years have had their share of friction, but like those rough stones, our city is emerging more focused, more polished, and more resilient. That is good governance. We turn hard conversations into better decisions and real accountability. As we progress through the year, let us keep tumbling together, open, honest, and determined to keep polishing this beautiful city of Cupertino that we share. On behalf of the entire City Council and City staff, thank you for being here tonight, for staying engaged, and for continuing to hold us to a very high standard. We look forward to seeing you at upcoming City Council meetings, mayor's chats, community events, and throughout the year. This concludes the 2026 State of the City Address. Have a safe and wonderful evening.